On September 10, 1993, the television landscape changed forever with the premiere of The X-Files, a television show about two FBI agents investigating all things paranormal, including UFOs, aliens, and even spirituality. David Duchovny played Agent Fox Mulder, a quirky wry G-man with an obsession with the unexplained, reinforced by an I want to believe poster in his office.
I was under the impression that you were sent to spy on me.
And Gillian Anderson played Agent Dana Scully, Mulder's partner and a self-professed skeptic, originally assigned to keep Mulder in check.
What I find fantastic is any notion that there are answers beyond the realm of science. The answers are there. You just have to know where to look.
That's why they put the I in FBI.
In the show's second episode, Deep Throat, Mulder and Scully traveled to the fictional Ellens Air Force Base, which served as a thinly veiled stand-in for Area 51, a real military installation used for testing new aircraft, whose existence the U.S. government denied until 2003.
Scully, wake up! You gotta see this.
The two stake out the facility outside the boundary fence and see two mysterious aircraft in the night sky, maneuvering with speeds and agility unmatched by traditional aircraft.
Just keep watching, it's unbelievable.
That's unreal. I've never seen anything like it.
When Mulder eventually sneaks into the base and, in a goosebump-inducing scene, watches as a black, triangle-shaped aircraft as big as a football field flies over him, the military takes him into custody. Though the government erases Mulder's memory before releasing him, the episode managed to implant thoughts of UFOs powered by alien spacecraft technology at Area 51 into the brains of mainstream America.
They're here, aren't they?
Mr. Mulder, they've been here for a long, long time.
Decades later, people are still spotting UFOs over Area 51, and like Mulder, I wanted to see one. After convincing my friends Suzanne, Rich, and Wendy to join me for a 7-hour drive to remote Nevada, we headed for the desert. Suzanne and I met in college when we noticed each other obsessively watching X-Files episodes in the same dorm lounge. I met my married friends Rich and Wendy while working in Los Angeles, and I quickly discovered their obsession with scary TV shows and movies when they hosted a 3-day horror movie watching festival over Halloween. But as conspiracy theorists go, we were a pathetic group. Mulder would have disparagingly labeled us skeptics. Though we all loved creepy pop culture, none of us believed we would see a UFO, an alien, or even a government agent wearing black sunglasses and a dark suit. In preparation for our long drive, I loaded my iPhone with the orchestral score for The X-Files and UFO-related podcast episodes from the decidedly esoteric The Paracast and Banal of America.
You've entered the Paracast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Banal of America audience.
I believe there's a physical reality to the UFO phenomena, but there's also a strong psychic component.
Listening to the podcast, we became UFO experts during a long drive on the gas station-less extraterrestrial highway, a name given to Nevada State Route 375 by the Nevada Tourism Commission in 1996. Near mile marker 29, we arrived at the famous Black Mailbox, the only landmark on a desolate 40-mile stretch of the highway. For years, conspiracy theorists believed the mailbox was somehow linked to Area 51, and some nights they still gather near it, hoping to see UFOs in the night sky.
Black Mailbox.
Dude, that's a white mailbox.
Oh, they painted it white to hide it. This is the Black Mailbox. The best place to see Freedom Mountain and the UFOs over Dreamland, man.
A cattle rancher named Steve Medlin is the mailbox's actual owner, and in 1996 he replaced the black mailbox with a bulletproof, padlocked white mailbox due to bullet holes in his mail caused by vandals. A conspicuously nondescript white Jeep whizzed by us, kicking up an opaque cloud of dust behind it as it penetrated farther into the empty landscape, but we saw no signs of alien life anywhere near the mailbox. We followed the tracks of the mysterious Jeep across the bleak landscape, past the mailbox, down a deserted 13-mile dirt road deep into the desert. Surrounded by otherworldly Joshua trees and wandering cattle, we drove through the dust veil until we could go no farther. An orange pole in the ground signaled that we had reached the boundary of Area 51. Two large signs warned us that we were not to proceed without permission of the installation commander and told us that if we continued driving or attempted to take photographs, we could be fined $1,000 or jailed for 6 months. On a distant mountaintop, we saw high-tech surveillance equipment monitoring us, and on an adjacent ridge, we saw two men in an unmarked pickup truck with a strange white antenna watching our every move. Self-consciously and nervously, we took our quintessential tourist photos in front of the stern signs. Then, staying on the legal side of the boundary, we decided to drive a steep dirt path up the ridge to get a better look at the Area 51 security. When we reached the top, our car was face to face with the pickup truck. As I whipped out my camera to get photos of the guys in the truck, a second pickup truck joined the first, and one of the truck drivers strangely blinked his left headlight only at us. A man got out of one of the trucks to talk to the driver of the other. Then, as the shutter on my camera continued to click, he returned to his truck and started driving toward us. "They're coming to get us," Wendy yelled. Panicked, Rich frantically began driving in reverse as the guard truck drove down the ridge and then dipped out of sight. "They're gonna cut us off on the road back," Rich worried. But after we returned to the highway without incident, our only worry was whether men in black sunglasses and dark suits would be visiting us at our motel.
Out of the car! Out of the car, sir!
Of course, that didn't happen. So we drove to the only food and lodging on the extraterrestrial highway called the Little Alien. There, we checked into our trailer and sat down to drink alien tequila and eat allegedly world-famous alien burgers. But our alien burgers weren't even made from aliens, and as we perused the photos of aliens and UFOs on the wall of the diner, we decided that we needed to intensify our search. On the first day of our trip to Area 51, we had come close to seeing the base, but not close enough. The buildings comprising the mysterious military installation sit in Groom Lake, a dry lakebed obscured from view by mountains on all sides. Nevertheless, we had read that it might be possible to see into the lakebed from the top of Tikaboo Peak, a mountain 26 miles from the base. Knowing that climbing Tikaboo would be our only chance to see Area 51's secrets, we started a 25-mile drive on yet another dirt road into the desert. We arrived in our car at the bottom of the peak, and though the hike was steeper than we expected, we made it to Tikaboo's summit after a couple hours of hiking. At the top, we found a protective wall made of rocks and a mattress of fresh pine branches with a tripod and a luau party sign. We assumed that someone had spent the night before us drinking Mai Tais while looking for signs of advanced military aircraft. Through my camera's telephoto lens, each of us took turns looking into the abyss of Groom Lake. Finally, we had seen the thrilling secrets of Area 51, but again, we were disappointed. We saw a collection of plain white buildings, no secret weapons, no spaceships, and no aliens. After taking a final look at the installation, we climbed wearily back to our car. At night, we decided to take one more shot at seeing a UFO. We left the Little Alien and drove once more toward the Black Mailbox. When we reached the mailbox, we parked our car under the dark desert sky and waited and waited and waited. Since no alien spacecrafts appeared to be approaching imminently, we pulled out a laptop and, huddled in our car next to the extraterrestrial highway, we watched Dreamland, a 2-part X-Files episode series about Area 51. As we watched Mulder and Scully investigate strange occurrences at the military base, we sat waiting and hoping to see a flying saucer.
Come on, Mulder, let's go.
Suddenly, we all heard Wendy yell, "What is that?" while she gazed out the left side passenger windows toward a distant mountain range. Suzanne and I looked over and saw a blinding, white sliver of light behind one of the peak's ridges. As we watched, the sliver of light became larger as it started moving over the ridge. A genuine, unidentified flying object soared toward us over a mountain ridge as we sat in the middle of the desert, an hour's drive to civilization in every direction. "Give me the telephoto lens right now," I yelled as I shifted the car into gear. Panicked, I hit the car's accelerator in an attempt to get a better view. The engine revved, but for some reason, the car wouldn't move. "Where is it?" Rich asked. "Look out the window to your left," I yelled at Rich, exasperated. "It's the blindingly bright UFO flying over that mountain." "No, where is the telephoto lens?" Rich yelled. Chaos ensued as we stared in disbelief at the strange craft rising over the mountain peak and moving toward us. "Maybe it's just a tent," Wendy offered, knowing full well that the spaceship appeared 10 times bigger and 100 times brighter than a camping tent would if one were on the ridge. Finally, Rich handed me the camera lens just as the sliver of light started to take shape. The sliver became a crescent. The crescent became a half circle. The half circle became a full moon. We sat quietly as feelings of embarrassment began to wash over us. Only 30 seconds before, we would have sworn on Supreme Court witness stands that an alien spaceship had flown toward us in the Nevada desert. Now, we realized we had been duped by an atmosphere created by our UFO podcasts, the expert storytelling of The X-Files, and the well-known optical illusion of an enormous full moon rising quickly over a horizon. As I wondered how many alleged UFO sightings are simply sightings of a rising moon, I looked down and saw that I had mistakenly positioned the car's transmission in neutral. Under a bright full moon and the otherwise empty desert sky, we sat in silence. We glanced at the moon over the ridge. We glanced at it again, and then again. Agent Fox Mulder would have been proud. We wanted to believe.